So as a review, here is the stuff from the book. And again, we're talking about proportions and specifically their cross products when we're solving. So when we go to solve this one, we have x over 9 equals 4/6. And again, so that means 6x equals 9 times 4. So that's 6x equals 36. Divide off the 6, and x is 6. 36 divided by 6 is 6. A few examples for you on the next slides. So pause, go into class kick, work 3, and then come back and check your answers. Alrighty, so on A, we had h times 3, that's 3h, and that equals 9 times 2. So 3h equals 18. Divide off that 3, and h is 6. For B, we had 5 times t equals 4 times 55. And that's 220. So 5t equals 220. Divide off our 5, and t is 44. And for C, we're going to have 6d equals 21 times 22. And that's 462 equals 6d, and divide off that 6, and d is 77. Let's continue here for another example from me. On my quiz and my test, I'm going to ask you, do these two ratios form a proportion? So what I'm really asking is, if I give you 4/6 and 10/14, are they equal? You can check that by their cross products. So we would take 4 times 14 on one side and 6 times 10 on the other side. And 6 times 10 is 60. And 4 times 14 is 56. So we're going to say no. They do not make a cross product. Or sorry, they do not make a proportion because their cross products are not equal. Pause here and go back to class kick and work a few. So on the first one here on A, the answer is yes, because our cross product 6 times 6 is 36, and then the other way, 9 times 4 is also 36. So we would say yes. On the second one, we're going to say no, because we have 20 times 5, which is 100, and we have on the other one 15 times 7, and that's 105, and well, those two numbers are not equal, so no. And then on the last one, we're going to have 7 times 30 this way, so that's 210. And the other way, I'm going to have 12 times 17.5, and that's also 210. So yes. Continue for one more example from me. So here's where we talk about what use is all this. So we're going to have an example here. So conversions, like we've done before, they're kind of part of this whole thing. It says 100 nautical miles equals about 115 standard or statute miles. That's regular miles. So nautical miles are on the sea. Statute miles, that's the regular ones on the land. How many statute miles equal 381 nautical miles? Round your answer to the nearest whole number. So we can set this up like a proportion. So we know that 100 nautical miles is the same as 115 regular miles. We also know that we're going to try to convert 381 nautical miles into I don't know how many regular miles. So notice here, nautical miles is across from nautical miles, regular miles is across from regular miles. That's why it looks so different from the ones we just did. Remember we had to do diagonal for conversions? This is another way of doing single conversions and not having to do that whole cross-canceling thing. So the cross products here, we're going to have x times 100, so that's 100x equals 115 times 381. So that's 100x equals 43815. Divide off that 100, and so x then is 438.15, and the label is miles. So about 438 miles. So pause, go to class kick, you work one, and then come back. Similar to the last problem, it says to the nearest mile, how far in nautical miles is 100 statute miles? So we're going to set it up a lot like we did the last one. We know from the last problem we did that 100 nautical miles is the same as about 115 regular miles. And so to the nearest mile, how far is 100 statute miles? So again, we do these miles across from miles, so 100 miles. And it's x, so that's unknown nautical miles. And we'll solve this with a cross product. So here we're going to have 100 times 100, so 10000 equals 115x. Divide off that 115, and we find that x is 86.9, and so that rounds to about 87 nautical miles.